They don't know how to hold this intellect. If you had the mind of an earthworm, you would be quite peaceful. Yes? You're trying to do it in so many ways to reduce the sharpness of the intellect by drink, by drug, by overeating, by doing all kinds of things somehow to take away the sharpness because the damn thing hurts.
Yep. Oh my God, like, dude, what if the things people love about doing drugs are just things that we love only because we don't know how to use the thing we are? Hey. Welcome back to another episode of Learn With Us, where we take really cool videos that are worth your time from YouTube and learn from them with you. Is this thing on? Anyway, this is part 2 of a video that one of our subscribers sent us. Yep. About the 4 parts of the mind. Sadhguru's going in, and we've only gotten through the first part of the mind, which is the intellect that's chopping everything up and trying to be a dissection tool, which is leading to a lot of pain for people.
A lot of boredom in our children.
If you want to hear about that stuff, go check out part 1 of this video, and it will help you understand more of this. Yep. And if not, I'm sure there will be cool stuff that we hear right now.
Yeah, and thank you again to that subscriber for sending this video. It's awesome.
Everyone else, subscribe. Let us know if you got videos you want us to check out. And
yeah, let's get into it.
Whoa! Yo, rock on!
We did not plan that. We did not plan that. All right, let's go.
The second one is called as Ahankara. Ahankara does not mean ego, this, that, it means the identity. Whatever you identified with, your intellect functions only around that. Simple. If you just identify with a nation, if you say, I'm an Indian, everything Indian looks beautiful. If you cross the border and you say you're something else, all that looks beautiful. So whatever you identified with, it's only with that the intellect functions. So Ahankara is the identity. How consciously and how steadily your Ahankara has been created will determine the effectiveness of your intellect.
What is he saying there?
So I think what he's saying is that this other way that they're looking at the mind, this other part, is the part that is the things you identify with. And what he's meaning by that is that is going to be the filter that all of this information passes through, that the intellect has.
Yep.
So if I am a proud American, I hear a story about something happening in Germany, and I go, and maybe it's something bad that happens.
Yeah.
And then me filtering it through my American filter, I go, well, of course that wouldn't happen here because X, Y, and Z. But that's only because of my blind idea of what it means to be identified as an American.
Just because it's sharp, it does not mean it'll be effective, because sharp intellect or a sharp knife can cause any amount of damage to you. If you have a sharp knife and you don't have a steady hand, you will cut yourself all over the place. That's all that's happening. Human suffering is just this. You don't know how to hold this intellect in your hand properly. Every day you're cutting yourself. All suffering is on self-help because your own mind causing this to you all the time. No matter what happens, people suffer.
This reminds me of something one of my friends was talking to me about, and this friend is super intellectual, like very much the Blade style.
Yes.
And they were saying that each time they try to work through an emotional thing, they're thinking through it, and it seems like everything just gets darker, gets more dismal the deeper they go.
Wow.
Because they're going deeper with a sharp knife. But they don't have… It's the hand is stabbing in the completely wrong places.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I definitely do that myself.
What an image.
You know? But like we all do, and that's really, I think, the practice of meditation and things like that is steadying that hand and being like, oh, these thoughts flying past aren't things I need to chop through.
Yeah, let them fly past.
Yes.
Let them fly past.
Yes.
They don't know how to hold this intellect. If you had the mind of an earthworm, you would be quite peaceful. Yes? You're trying to do it in so many ways to reduce the sharpness of the intellect by drink, by drug, by overeating, by doing all kinds of things somehow to take away the sharpness because the damn thing hurts.
Yep.
Oh my god, like, dude, what if the things people love about doing drugs are just things that we love only because we don't know how to use the thing we are?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like we get this sense of peace from smoking or drinking, this like stillness.
Yeah. But you can still find stillness in
Yeah.
other ways. It's like the drinking and smoking and whatever, overeating, anything like that. It's doing things in the wrong way to get this thing that should be happening within you naturally.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think of, like, what are the ways in our own lives, like, what are the things, even if it's not drugs or alcohol, maybe it is. Alcohol is a drug. I hate when we split up drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's not those things, maybe there are also other things you're doing where you're doing things that are actually damaging to your whole system because you're almost afraid or you're being tortured by this a mass ability you have.
Wow.
I was telling you this the other day. Sometimes I've like I got into dream work like 6-7 years ago. It was
Yeah.
like the thing that first started a spiritual path for me was lucid dreaming and becoming awake in a dream. And then you question like, what is awake in real life? And all these things come up. But there will be certain periods, certain stretches where I would get so my dreaming would become so consistent that I would go throughout a night and feel like I hadn't slept.
Wow.
Because it was just so active. I was still like there the whole time. And I felt energized in the morning, but I had all this information that I didn't know what to do with. And then in those times, I would turn to smoking weed because weed would suppress dreams in me.
Wow.
And then it would be like an escape from this amazing ability. Like, and I would always like go in these cycles of chasing those dreams again, getting it to a point where it's like this very powerful tool that I just don't know how to handle.
Yeah.
And then I would get overwhelmed and try to like push myself back.
That shows for me the disconnect between the youth and elders who've experienced that. People who, because the elders that we have in a lot of ways are those same people that have valued their intellect their entire lives. So they're not going to be able to teach you about how to properly use your intellect or how to properly interpret dreams. And those are things that you should be learning at a young age, but we're not. We're not learning.
That's what we need gurus and spiritual teachers for, is because
absolutely.
Those, it's like the most profound parts of your life aren't being fostered.
And there should be like gurus and spiritual teachers, yes, but also people like that in your community. Like people who
Your
are
parents.
who have just lived it, we should have millions more people like Sadhguru or someone like him that is in every community, that has lived it all, and they have experienced things and they know how to teach the youth and open them to these experiences. Because once you're open and awakened to these things, you can't unlearn them. You can never, like, that's what Eckhart Tolle says at the beginning of his book A New Earth. You can't move back once you've begun awakening. And awakening, what if that just happened to all of us as we were kids? What if that wasn't even a thing? What if we were just never asleep, you know?
Wow, that was sick. But also, awakening is scary. It's scary because it's new and you have no idea what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
And without anyone to, like, the word guru means dispeller of darkness.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's as if you're waking up into this darkness and you're like, I know there's something here.
Yeah.
But you can't see because it's dark and you've never seen that before.
Yep.
And then it's these tools that help you see. Wow. All right, that was a journey.
That was a tangent. I like that.
The next dimension of the mind is called as Manus, which is a huge volume of memory. It is not here or there, entire body carries memory. So, Manomaya Kosha, this is called a huge sack of memory.
This is what we were talking about on the first part of this.
Yes.
But that we were talking about the separation between body and mind.
And he's
bringing it together.
Yeah,
They're
I love
saying
that.
they consider the mind all the information that you have stored in your body.
Woo!
Very cool point right there.
Ooh, really?
Really cool point.
Really cool point.
Fourth dimension of the mind is called as Chitta. Chitta means it's pure intelligence. It is unsullied by memory. It has no trace of any kind of memory, it's just pure intelligence. If you touch this, then you have access to what you're referring to as the source of creation, because all kinds of things might have been fed to you. God is this, God is love, God is compassion, God is kind, whatever. Somebody come, stand on the edge of this stage, say all the prayer you want to say and fall. Let me see whether compassion happens to you or a cracked bone happens to you. I would like to check, all right? All these things have been made up because whatever somebody is deprived of, they will attribute that quality to their idea of God. Your ideas of God have come only…
Oh, man. He's down again. Last
this
video, he was down.
This is gonna be the new thing.
He's down again.
Whenever he says stuff on that
KO.
level, I'm just down.
Wow. Oh my word. Whenever someone is depraved of something in their life, they attribute that to God. Listen to that. Listen to that.
Say it again.
Woo! Whenever someone is depraved of something in their life, they attribute that to God. To something else. As if God doesn't live within us.
And I think, yeah, so that part of the intellect, what he's saying, this fourth part,
Yeah.
is that God knowledge. Like, it is that knowledge of source.
Mm-hmm.
What that looks like, what that feels like, what that experience is, that's probably how you get someone like this.
Makes me think of intuition.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something like, because intuition for me is this thing that comes from, it feels like, outside and really guides you in a way that's very truthful. And that happens without your intellect. It's almost as if like the hairs on the end of your neck stand up and you're like, oh, I know what to do. And trusting that's where my mind goes, but I don't know. Like,
yeah, and imagine if you touched that feeling, but that was just all, like everything you did all day was with that clarity.
That's the goal, for sure.
And that's
for sure.
Like, if you look at how he lives his life, it seems like he has that clarity for sure in all situations.
It does.
Wow.
Yeah.
because you do not know how this whole creation happened. Because you don't have an answer, you made it up. Because you're a human being, you said a big human being is sitting up there. Oh, how can you do all this? If somebody asks, he has 10 hands, so he does lot of things, not like you. Whatever, it's all right for children. But essentially, because you do not know how creation happened, you are coming up with explanations. So that which is the source of creation, don't believe what I say, what anybody says. Pay attention to one piece of creation. Just take a flower, pay attention to this, pay an attention to a leaf or an atom or an ant. All you will see is phenomenal intelligence beyond anything you can imagine. Yes? But nobody…
Amen.
Hey, man.
Oh! There he goes. Yep. Yeah, one of my favorite practices as of late is, in the past year or so, is when I'm meditating outside, I pick up on the life of these insects. And I just watch them go about their day and their life and recognize the amount of intelligence that they have and the amount of intelligence that's in all these little things that are all around us that we try to subconsciously say, A, it's separate, B, we're greater. Neither of those are true.
Oh my gosh. And just the fact that it goes back to that whole idea of I don't know that we made another video on a few weeks ago. Sadhguru talking about the I don't know and the fact that we've come up with all these stories to try to explain it all.
Yeah.
But if you just say I don't know and you just observe that thing, you're going to go, you look at the way a flower opens, the fact that it's creating pollen that attracts different animals with a scent so that these insects come and spread it. The color that it has probably has a specific color so that it attracts certain things. All of that, the leaf shape, like, it's genius. And then we try to define what the thing is that made that rather than just being in awe of that creation.
Yeah.
And if you are just in awe of it, you'll gain so much more than being like, oh, that was all made by God.
Made by God, right. Like, because what if we took all these questions? Why are we here? I don't know. How did the earth come to be? I don't know. How did life come on earth? How did creation happen? Was it the Big Bang? I don't know. And then the possibilities are open. Wide open. And like then in my mind I come to, after I say I don't know to all these things, it's like, well, hey, why don't we just live?
You
Find out. Find out.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Learn
with us.
Yes, learn with us.
Learn with us.
Hey, join A New Dream. Also, we make different types of content, not just reaction videos.
Yeah.
Because what we think is so cool is taking this type of learning we've done and putting it into different forms, such as music, short stories, essays we write,
poems, things like that. Yeah.
And we really want to encourage you guys to also check those out. It would mean a ton to us because art is such a big part of, I think, creatively expressing is really taking all this stuff that we're learning.
So much stuff, yeah.
And really going boom and letting it come out of you. And that's also stuff we want to share with you guys and hear what you guys think about that. So please go check that stuff out. That'd mean a lot.
Dang.
Word.
Oh, this was such a good video.
It's not over yet.
Oh my gosh, it's not even
if there's
over.
anything else.
But nobody told you God is intelligence. But this culture has said this to you in many ways. They told you Chidakasha, Chidambara and so many things to tell you if you touch your chit, the whole existence becomes yours. Everything that's worth knowing is right here because you have access to the source of creation. So these are the four dimensions of your mind. Unfortunately, the modern education thinks by just feeding information and keeping the intellect reasonably sharp, everything is going to happen. No. You will rip this planet apart looking for well-being. You may lose the planet, or you may manage to go to another planet and start your work again there. But well-being will not happen.
Oh my gosh, go to another planet. That is such a big thing that frustrates me, the idea of colonizing other planets rather than just learning how to live great here.
Also, looking at Mars and going like, oh yeah, it would be cool to put a colonization on a place that we don't really know if it has water or anything yet.
Yeah!
And it's like, bro, you can step outside, you got trees making you oxygen,
oh my
you got
gosh.
water running everywhere, and it's just because we've been looking in the completely wrong places for what it means to live a good life that we've been tearing this place apart.
Too much in the intellect. Way too much in the intellect.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, snaps for that, Sadhguru. Snaps for that.
Jeez.
Ooh. Wow, that was an awesome video.
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe, let us know what you thought, tell your friends.
Yeah, this video was from a suggestion from a subscriber, so if you have a sick video, doesn't even have to be a Sadhguru video, just toss it in the comments. We'll check it out.
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Much love.
Oh my gosh, yeah, much love. And take some time to get away from that intellect of yours.
Yeah, go live a little.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What good inspiration.
Woo!